listening to The Watchers.
It's an odd take.
Yeah, that wasn't the one. You're listening to The Watchers, a show where two women from opposite ends of New Jersey watch movies and TV about, let's say, alternate approaches to medication management.
Dude, the pooling meds thing.
That's how they've always done it, Jody.
That is also one of my, what the fuck moments. Good God. I mean, I do wonder if it's an old people thing, because I do think my mom is constantly taking stuff without telling anyone, but still.
I never want this family to leave the hospital. I think people sharing medication is probably not all that uncommon, but the pooling. And then sitting around the table and just one.
There were so many bottles.
There were so many bottles.
Oh my God. You're Andrea. I'm Jody. We watched the Pitt. 10 a.m. No, 9 a.m. Excuse me.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Yes. Mm-hmm. Episode 3. Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't do that, guys.
Don't do that.
As Langdon said, bad idea. That's not exactly what he said, but.
Listen, pot kettle, buddy. That made me laugh out loud.
Sharing meds which haven't been prescribed to you is actually a real big no-no.
Oh.
The way he talks to this family. How are we doing on remembering what your brother might have taken?
I don't blame him.
Oh, God. I think that this episode, to me, feels like the last of the calm before the storm episodes. It's 1/5 of the season, 1/5 of the shift, and shit's about to go down. So... But yeah, we're still in the mode where they're moving quickly, but it's not a panic. We got a lot of patience, but it's not overwhelming yet. Let's start with Jackson Davis. Oh, wait, before we do though, you had something you wanted to tell me, and I think I figured it out. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't go looking.
Jody, I have made a discovery, and discovery is not the right word because it has been in our face this whole time. We've been going back and forth about what is up with Dana's accent. You and I called that this is not Pittsburgh. We knew that.
Okay. We have two different surprises or two different hidden things. Yes.
Oh, this is exciting. Okay. So you speculated North Jersey. I said Jersey, Philly. She's got some O's that are so South Jersey to me. I pulled a clip of one I can play for you and for our listeners. Actually, maybe I'll do that first before I present the real thing that's...
It was a lot this episode.
It was a lot this episode. And I believe Dana would say episode.
Yeah. Yes, she would.
She absolutely would sometimes. Like I said, it's, as we talked about last week, not always the most consistent. But...
Is this a drill? Is this a joke? It's the 4th of fucking July. Got it. Thanks.
What's up?
Westbridge has a code black and is closing to internal disaster. Central's diverting all their ambulance traffic to us.
Code.
Joke, code black. But then she also says, got it. Like she's JFK.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you something, Jody. Listeners, Jody will tell you what we're looking at.
There she is.
Jody, you notice anything here?
Liberty Bell pin?
Is that a Liberty Bell pin?
The first thing I noticed was the hoop earrings, but that's...
that's also, yeah.
Yeah, but that looks like a Liberty Bell pin.
Liberty Bell.
Well, she did say this ain't Philly earlier, last semester. Last season. I always do that. Last
season, she said, this ain't Philly.
Yeah.
Last season, she was not wearing that pin, but she has been wearing that pin since episode 1 of this season.
Interesting.
Which tells me that they heard all of us saying,
where the fuck is she from?
Yeah. And she said, I'll show you.
Wow. Yeah, I think they're putting her in Philly.
It hit me like fucking Usual Suspects. I couldn't believe it. It was sitting underneath her stethoscope.
It's been there the whole time?
It's literally been here the whole time. Yeah. And I only noticed it because it was blocked. I was like, I wonder what that little piece of flair is. And so I scrubbed back and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's a Liberty Bell. Yeah. Famously the place I went when I ran away from home when I was 16 years old for some reason.
We must have talked about the goddamn Liberty Bell on this podcast in the past.
We have, but yeah.
I've been there so many times. It's so boring. Go see the bell once, I guess, but
I wasn't that interesting.
But I love that she's got that. They were like, what's instantly recognizable? We don't need any text for people to read it. That'll tell us where she's from.
I did not notice that at all.
Code. It is famously one of the most difficult accents to nail, though people have done it.
C-task.
Dana. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dana, I love you.
Yeah. It's partly the lack of consistency. It's that, I mean, so as someone with a very occasional North Jersey accent that comes out when I'm very caffeinated or very excited,
or when you say
daughter. I get it that it's not consistent for everybody. Like sometimes, especially if you've left the place, it'll come back when you're around people from that place. But this is like, she barely had an accent and now she sounds like she's,
Well, it's the coming and going, and it's also, and again, I love this actor. I love Dana. I would
she's
die for
amazing.
Dana.
I love her.
But I just think as two New Jersey people.
Yeah.
Who one is from so close to Philly. It pains me to admit where I'm recording from right now.
I know, I'm sorry.
I just think this accent is one that we are qualified to speak to.
You in particular.
And
because you've lived there.
Right. And the thing that gets me even more than the coming and going is like I said, the way she said got, I'll drop that in again.
Got it.
That's a choice. I don't think that's the actor's regular voice coming through.
She's from New Orleans, I think we found out.
Yeah. And nobody from South Jersey or Philly says got.
Mm-hmm.
Got. It's really odd. And so, I hope she takes some time to refine it a little bit.
I thought you were going to say take some time to reflect on her choices.
I hope she's listening and learning.
Yeah.
But she's doing her best. I just feel so good having it. We know what she's going for.
Absolutely.
Because I really wasn't sure.
Can I share with you the thing that I found out?
Yes, I'm so excited.
My favorite part is going to be, the best part of this is going to be if we have talked about it and I just don't remember. So one of the actors I don't think we've really talked much about because he's more of a background character is the security guard, Ahmed. Have we talked about him yet?
Not really, no.
Okay. Because he came up again in this episode because he was excited to start the betting pool. Now that there's a code black. Yeah.
I really like him.
I like him a lot too. He's often in the background with just like a line or two, but he seems like a good hang. He is played by an actor named Jonath Davis of Newark, New Jersey.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. And he took, are we doing a sound? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Wow. And he took his first acting classes at the Actors Lab in Philly.
Whoa. So he's Newark and Philly. He's crossing the aisles for the two of us, bringing us together. Jody, exactly. What a big day. We got
Isn't
the
that
Liberty
exciting?
Bell. Wow.
So exciting. And this episode was written by Noah Wyle. Although it's more exciting that Jonath is from Newark. But
a lot of good stuff in this
No
one.
disrespect to Noah. Yes, a lot of good stuff going on.
Speaking of, I'm glad that you said that too about who wrote the episode. The director of this episode, Uda Breiswitz, I noticed she's done a ton of stuff, but she directed 2 episodes of season 2 of Severance.
Oh.
Yeah, Attila, which is the dinner episode, and the Attila and the After Hours. So I thought that was cool.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought this was I think we should just start getting into it, but I thought this was a good episode. I did, like I said, I felt like it was the last sort of calm before the storm episode where things weren't out of hand, but, we're still planting seeds for what's coming.
It's funny that I love all of these characters so much, and I think the cases are so cool that I don't mind.
No, me neither.
It was just, it's another one where you're kind of, getting to kind of sit with different details and stuff.
Kind of
But
hanging
I am
out.
excited to see.
Yeah. What's about to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Our first patient was introduced at the end of last episode. We find out his name is Jackson Davis.
I looked up the actor's name. I don't have anything to say about him otherwise.
Yeah, I know. Zach Morris.
Zach Morris.
This actor was on EastEnders and Goosebumps. I hope that we get a little time with him when he's not screaming. He's basically shouting legal codes.
Yeah, so last week there was just one that we noted,
Right.
which was the Anti-Hazing Act.
Now
And
there's
then-
a bunch.
Yeah, and they seem to be related, but I had a hard time, and I even looked online to see if other people were able to track them down, and it's not totally clear. There's like a Pittsburgh...
Well, the thought that then people were having was that he's like a law student or something
he was
that was
just,
studying
like-
for the bar and
Right.
like had a break. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, then I heard someone else say, like, if you're studying for the bar, you're not going to be studying like local Pittsburgh ordinances, but
Right.
who knows?
So, yeah.
But we don't know what's going on with him yet. He's obviously having some sort of episode. But he is not on drugs,
Nope.
Tony, which we will... least enjoyable person to be around on this episode.
Yes, and also, though, the most familiar to me. He just felt so real.
Yep. Tony, what's his last name?
Cinciolo.
Cinciolo. Yes. Yeah, I know a Tony or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do appreciate, though, the wish fulfillment of the cops, like, turning on him when they find out that the kid's not on drugs, because I don't know that that's that realistic, but, you know, I'll take it.
Maybe because he was being such a big mouth asshole that, like,
Yeah.
it was less about them wanting to do the right thing and more just about...
Yeah. But they have to remove the taser barbs out of his back.
And it seems like, because they ask if the barbs are in the back of his neck later, and I think that's what the issue is, more so that
you're not supposed to tase someone from behind in the neck.
In the neck, right. He was clearly, like, not coming... Yeah, anyway, we'll get to that in a minute.
We don't see a ton with him. We see him in the beginning, and then it's kind of more about Tony basically, like, saying lots of dog whistle shit and pretending he's the victim.
And you know that he knows if he doesn't get his story straight on his end that he's going to be in trouble, because he doesn't want to leave Jackson. He wants to watch him. He says it's because he doesn't trust that, like, he's like, you know, you don't want him getting out of there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that's also why the idiot is so insistent on the police coming and getting his statement, I think, so he can be on record first.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I do appreciate Nurse Jessie in this, though, because when he's, like, kind of trying to assess the head injury, he says scalp lock's tiny, 5 millimeters. He uses tiny. That's great.
Yeah.
I do love how immediately all the nurses clock this asshole and are like, okay, sir. Yeah.
We see the extraction, which is
it's
not too
fine.
bad. Yeah.
There was only one thing this episode that really got me.
I bet it's the same thing for me. The barbs get removed, the day goes on. We get his toxicology screen, which shows he's not on any drugs. That's when what we were just talking about, the cops say, like, that changes things, Tony.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of that case.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one that goes on for a few more episodes.
Yeah, I really want to hear because it just seems like poor Jackson is not doing well for whatever reason.
No, absolutely not. The other thing that this patient points out is, like, and we're getting these, like, I think maybe we can talk a little bit more about this at the end, but we're getting these repeated little threads passing through all of these different episodes and these different patients. And one of those threads is Dr. Robby and Dr. Al-Hashimi disagreeing, right? And this is another one where he wants to do one medication. She says, no, we can't do that because we didn't have this information. He finds out he's got a little bit of that information, says it's enough, and goes ahead with it. And so, like, I just want to put a flag on the fact that we're still, even though they seem to be getting along better this episode, they're still having differences of opinions really regularly. And it has to do with Robby's unwillingness to take anyone else's input or wait 5 seconds. So yeah, just want to put a pin in that.
Totally. There's also a quick moment when they're doing the extraction where visually Robby steps back as Mel starts to teach Javadi about it, and Al-Hashmi leans in and starts talking more. And it's such a visual of, like, eventually these two, one's going to pull back a little bit and one's going to lean in a little bit, and we're going to balance out, and it's going to be fine.
I thought you were going to say they were going to kiss.
I mean, maybe.
Well, so the other thing, though, that I want to quickly mention with the two of them is I noticed this episode. So because maybe this is just because I don't want the doctor that comes in to fuck everything up to be a woman or a woman of color.
Right.
But I have noticed, like, I'm sure, like, obviously she's an attending, so she's gone through an insane amount of experience and training and is a good doctor. That's accepted. I will say that what I noticed specifically, the difference between her and Robby, is not just the cautiousness versus the rashness. It's the teaching versus not teaching. She's not really, she was, the first time we meet her, she's doing a demo or a mock code. But in the moment, Robby is constantly, like, this is something you've taught, I teach, like, how it's so natural to him to every time something happens and someone has to do something, for him to prompt them to explain what they're doing versus tell them what to do. She doesn't do that.
Right. And I mean, that is the difference. Just now, don't want to get off on a rant here, but between a good teacher and somebody who knows their subject well.
Yeah.
And it is also maybe the issue being that she's just not a good fit necessarily for this department.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean that she couldn't be, but she's definitely not right now taking the time to, and like, it doesn't slow Robby down to do this, but like, she is giving orders more than prompting the med students. And I did notice
That's a really, really good point. And
like, I tried to find one example of her actually asking one of them a question or like letting them lead the thing, and it really didn't happen. Seems much more focused on the patients and patient satisfaction and less so on teaching. And that's neither is better or worse. That's not a criticism. That's just maybe not the best fit.
Right. And again, why they're coming to, why there's so much tension there. Yeah.
Yeah. We say goodbye to Mr. Randall. No sex fireworks for him tonight.
No sex fireworks.
No sex fireworks. The next kind of group of folks that we start in with is our medicine pooling clan, our, pile of pills on the kitchen table, take the blue ones, maybe, however many you want. I can't imagine.
It is absurd that it's so...
There's so many pills.
So many pills.
My favorite part of this whole group of scenes with this family is Mel on FaceTime. You can see her little face, like, looking at all the different, like, names of pills on the table, trying to figure out which one is the culprit.
Mm-hmm. When they finally find it's a propranolol,
yeah,
whatever. And first of all, he says, "Bingo, little lady," which is like condescending, but I don't know. To me, it felt like if you call like, I never annoyed when somebody calls me hun. Like, it just felt like that to me. But when they ask him how many he took, and he says, he's like, "No, ma'am, I went just before I came here." Really got me. Just the mishearing really got me.
Well, yeah, that was relatable.
It was a little thing, but it made me giggle.
I also liked how his son, I guess, question mark, was like, well, on a full stomach, though.
That was like
what?
It reminded me of when growing up, the years I spent in Burlington County. This is going to sound so dismissive, but I grew up with some like hard Scrabble people. Mm-hmm. And that sort of like home justification, like you can take anything as long as it's on a full stomach.
On a full stomach, yeah.
They've gotten this far.
Yeah, that's true. Although apparently one of them had really low blood pressure, but he's dead. Dead. Yeah.
I just love this family so much.
Well, and I love the fact that like we had the two of them at first, then they're leaving, and then there's more of them in the same shirts in the waiting room. And I'm like,
the whole gang comes.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a great running gag if every time they tried to leave, another family member was in the waiting room.
and
they just never left. Of them. Yeah.
Jody, that's so funny.
I would love that.
Hilarious.
Yeah. But it seems like he's going to be fine. It seems like they just need to, like, has a short half-life. It'll be out of his system soon. Yeah, in this scene, Langdon makes a MASH movie reference that I can't imagine someone his age actually making. But when he says pros from Dover to Donnie, him and Donnie are hanging out a lot this episode, which I love. They're a good pair. But yeah, it's apparently something from the MASH movie.
Okay. I mean, I guess maybe if you're
Noah Wyle.
Well, if you're Noah Wyle or if you're in emergency medicine.
Right. Yeah,
because, like, you and I can make a bunch of Jersey references we should have no business making.
Yeah.
So
I also
but yeah.
I saw an interview with Noah Wyle that was talking about this episode where he mentions the blessing that Langdon quotes later on. And he said that when he turned in the script for one of the other episodes he wrote, one of the producers was like, okay, so we're going to have to take out about 210 references and we'll leave about 70. Like, Noah Wyle just wants to just drop the references constantly.
I'm a sucker for that stuff, so I
don't mind it at all.
Yeah, but I'm glad there's somebody there who's,
holding him back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. There's one other small patient moment before we get into, I think Digby's the next significant
in the waiting room?
Is in the waiting
Lupe?
room.
Yeah.
So Lupe and this woman, Ms. Graham, we get confirmation. Yeah, she's deaf and that it is marked in her chart, but Lupe missed it. She's very apologetic. They have the medical interpreter there who's going to stay with her for the rest of her visit, it seems like. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
We've got that. It only took 3 hours. 2 hours. Well,
I did feel a little bit there. I'm so defensive of these characters that I like, and I really like Lupe in the small role that she has. So I was kind of bummed that they made her make a mistake. I was like, no, she would never miss that in a chart. She would never
miss that. Yeah,
Lupe knows what she's doing. She's on top of it. That's crazy. Somebody else messed up.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody we've never seen and don't care about.
I also noted that the actor that plays Harlow Graham is a deaf Latinx comedian, writer, improviser, artist, and a fourth-generation San Francisco native. She has trained at Upright Citizens Brigade and Second City and the Groundlings.
Remind me her name.
What did I just say? Sorry. Jessica Limer Flores. Limer. Jessica Flores. Yeah, we move on to Digby, who we talked about this last week. I feel like this was a better week for him, but he just still doesn't have... I hope that there's something underneath with him, because he stuck around for 3 episodes, that we're going to learn about him as a person that's beyond just homeless person that is really dirty, that needs help and won't take it.
It's like dirty, won't take it. I mean, he finally does a little bit here, sort of, at least a step to it. But he's just like, they kind of treat him like a baby. Like,
I know, that's what I mean. Like, he doesn't have any real agency in any of this.
And like the only lines he gets, he says, "I just kind of want to get patched up, you know." And then Dana says, "That's today. What's tomorrow?" And he says, "Sunday." And it's like, Digby's not. I know. He's unhoused. He's not an idiot.
I know.
Like, that stuff bugs me.
I really have to hope that there's something he's hiding that has more of a story to it, that allows him to be more of a full person.
Yeah.
And not just like a symbol of the kindness of the nurses. Like, I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Not a huge fan of that line.
Yeah. That's really all we get this week, is that is that Dana...
They're going to bring Dylan, to talk to him.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep. Yeah, we get a quick check-in on Kylie next at the nurses' station between Santos and Dylan, our social worker. Just another opportunity for Santos to make assumptions, and, you know, I don't blame her for doing so. I think it's very hard to remove your personal history around something that awful, and you just like, and it does come into the ER, and it is your job to identify and like report,
right? Yeah.
You know, but she's being very, if the dad shows up, which he does.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like Dylan is like, oh, come on, it's never,
Right.
it's so seldom. Like,
Yeah, they're not doubting
they
it.
know,
But...
yeah. And I'd like to think that if I were a dad, I understand how, especially because they're obviously separated, he and his wife are, that you want to make sure that nobody thinks that you are hurting your child. Of course.
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, I would also want to know that people are looking out for my child.
Yeah.
He's got a short temper, but he shows up. He has one of those lines I talked about last season where it's like giving us a little information we don't need in the moment, where he's like, they're like, is anybody treating Kylie, whatever. And then he pops up and he says, she's my daughter. She's 9. I'm Benny Connors.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, man. Okay.
Yep. My favorite part of this whole set of scenes was just Jesse juggling oranges in the background. He's just always there to entertain a child or make a little joke about a
I
baby.
said to you, like, they really want us, you called it, that it feels like we're going to be like getting more from Jesse at some point this season.
I hope so.
And so I'm just watching him closer, and they really don't want us to lose track of him.
No.
Him juggling made me laugh out loud because it's so like, here I am. Hi. Hello.
Yeah.
Don't forget me.
I mean, even like the fact that it's like oranges, the colors, you can't miss it.
Exactly.
I mean, the dad is really sweet with his daughter. It's so funny. Like, it turns out you can not be an abuser, but also just be an asshole.
Exactly.
Like, to people in front of your child. He's really sweet to her, but then in front of her is a complete dick to Gina.
Yeah, and he's like clearly got a short temper with the people around him, which is just because he's not hurting his daughter and loves his daughter doesn't mean that doesn't suck.
Right.
Like,
exactly. But he gets furious with Gina for, he thinks, blaming her. Well, first he gets mad because he thinks it's her fault for like playing around with his daughter. And then he's like, well, then you said it was my fault. And she's like, no, I didn't. Like, this was, again, I think the thing with the cops, the wish casting of like them questioning one quote unquote of their own versus a disorderly patient, that was a little bit of wish casting. So is the way that this ends when she leaves.
The timing.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. But we do find out. So there's basically, it's about to escalate. He's going to get in a fight with our darling from Newark, which I would not do.
That's right.
People from North Jersey, just don't, you don't fuck around with them. But Dana runs in and shouts a HIPAA violation.
That's such a good point.
Like as loud as she can to stop the fight. I mean, some of that, honestly, I think maybe is her PTSD. She's just like, people, like, we cannot have this type of craziness.
Yes, that's a good point. I also think maybe, I know, like, I don't know, Dylan and Santos, maybe wait until the labs are back before you question this guy.
100%. Yeah, I do think that, like, it's certainly not something that I am intimately familiar with the rules around, but he was clearly like, also, you would think that you would try very hard not to have that conversation in the hallway. They were trying to get him into a room and he just kind of refused. I mean, I guess they can't force him, but we also get a phone call with the mom who is on her way and should be there around 11. So that'll be interesting. I think Kylie's going to be there for a few days. So I think there's more to this than we've gotten. I don't think this is the end of the Kylie story.
Yeah, they put a hilarious filter on her voice to make it sound like a phone call. You've been on the phone before, Jody. You've had people on speakerphone.
Not for a while, but yes.
but that's not what that sounds like.
No.
They did their best, though.
But I think we'll see more of this situation and maybe find out why he's such a raging asshole, like, even though apparently isn't abusing his daughter, because also his daughter reacts to him in a way that's very sweet and very, like, I'm not afraid of you. But she has ITP, which to the Reddit detectives that knew this all along, of course, good job, as always.
I thought it was interesting. Ogilvy, Mr. Know-It-All, didn't know what it was.
I know. I was shocked. I was like, I thought you read every book.
Yeah, I guess that's just so Santos can make that hilarious joke about what idiopathic means.
Yeah. You can see Santos feeling a bit chagrined or defeated or kind of mad at herself for that assumption in that moment, where she talks about how even though it was sort of a zebra, like she also missed it. Which, I mean,
She's allowed to make mistakes, you know? I
Yeah.
just think that, like, people were really too hard on Santos, and that maybe, like, people should give her a break, okay?
Totally.
We all make mistakes.
Someone posted on our TikTok that they think that if she was a man, that she wouldn't have gotten the same reaction in season 1. And I think they're not wrong. Like,
I think that's true for everyone but me.
yeah,
my bigger issue is not internalized misogyny.
Right.
It's entitlement is my least favorite quality in a person. And I've been joking that
Yeah.
I've always been a Santos fan, but she just walked in so overconfident,
cocky.
so
I
entitled,
know.
and that's just, there's nobody that, and I think you and I are man haters, so,
sure.
and so, I think that's totally valid, and I think that is,
Yeah.
it'd be like, look at this confident person
Right.
who's so self-assured and knows this stuff. Although you and I'm not defending us, but I think like Ogilvy has a little bit of it. He's just not as active. He's just more of a verbal show off, and I can't stand him either.
I find him annoying too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
actually, the thing that he did that was even worse than not knowing what ITP was, he was sitting in Dana's chair. How dare you?
Out of here.
How dare you?
That's actually worse than anything Santos did last season.
Let that woman rest her feet.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That was like the way that she looked at him when she like kind of motioned for him to get out of the chair. It was like, oh boy.
Don't want
She
being
is
on
not
the
a fan
bad
of
side.
you.
Nope.
We don't see baby Jane Doe at all in this episode. We just hear that she's doing well. She's taking formula. Dana's keeping an eye on her, so I feel good about it.
Right. That's right.
But we end the Kylie section with a breakup. This is so... It's one of those, like, when you have a fight with someone and you leave and 20 minutes later you think of what you wanted to say. She got it in the moment. Like,
Yeah.
she... That's why, I mean, it's like wish casting, you know? Because she actually had the words at the right time.
You're so right.
He says, will you just fucking let me finish? Which is where I was like, oh, absolutely not. And she does too. She says, you are finished. We're finished.
Boom.
So good. And then he says, well, happy fucking 4th of July. And she says, yeah, happy Independence Day as she walks away.
Yeah. I would be on the phone with my friends later. He said, let me finish.
yeah.
And you know what I said?
We are finished. You're finished. It's exactly what you hope that you would have at the tip of your tongue when in that situation and never actually would. So good
That's
for
right.
Gina.
Yeah.
Getting out while she, has only put in 6 months.
That's right. Yeah. And I love that she doesn't really back down from it even before.
No.
Because she says, like, no, I don't know you. Like 6 months
Yeah.
is nothing.
Exactly.
So good for you, Gina.
Yeah, she totally stood up for herself. It's a shame. It seems like she and Kylie liked each other, but not enough to put up with that guy.
I know. It's a bummer.
Now we get our car meets motorcycle. This has a lot of implications, I believe, for our future. On this day, Marky and his wife Nancy in a car got into an accident with a motorcycle.
Motorcycle ran the light.
Yeah, motorcycle ran the light. Wasn't wearing a helmet.
Wasn't wearing a helmet. We get first Mark and Nancy very quickly. The one thing I wanted to say, the actor Mark, he didn't ping anything for me. You watched the first season of Paradise, right?
Yeah, the wife is on it.
Yeah, Angela Lynn is. She plays Susan Donnelly. She's. I won't say much about it.
I couldn't remember what her character was, but I remember seeing her.
The scientist whose husband is the bartender.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything else about her would be a spoiler. So.
Okay. That's right.
So we get the beginning of their set, and then we pop
We
over.
go to the motorcycle guy, yeah.
Is
This was the
scene?
thing. This is the thing, yeah.
Do you wanna?
No. No, I don't even want to say it. His head's open, okay?
His head. I need to hear from the sound department. I want to know the Foley
people.
person. That noise of them pulling back is so gross. I need to know what they did. We do get a really good, because he wasn't wearing a helmet, took the PennDOT safety.
Motorcycle safety course, yeah.
Isn't that what you took, Robby? And then Robby, Jody
Says lies. Fucking liar.
I'm like, it's kind of like what you said about
I don't appreciate your ruse.
it's like what you said about Lupe, though, where I was like, well, yeah, he's like a real do as I say, not as I do kind of person. And at least he's not encouraging the people around him to not wear a helmet.
He's lying. Unfortunately, the guy's not a donor. But this is another little drop a flag moment where Robby does not stop to sort of acknowledge the death of a patient. Joy, like, who I liked a lot better this episode,
Well, it's the first time we've seen her kind of unsettled.
Right. And also they've separated her from Ogilvy, and I think that she gets to be something other than like just the person annoyed with Ogilvy.
Right, yeah.
But she says, what about a moment of reflection? And Robby says, he'll still be dead when we get back. Robby
were really diligent and really conscientious.
Yeah.
And then this guy showed up. I think he could be a little short about this because the guy wasn't wearing a helmet and he was on a motorcycle. That's crazy. But
yeah.
Robby.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to be.
Absolutely not. But that guy's done. So somebody I think it was on Reddit, made a comment that I thought was interesting, that maybe it's not just the fact that Robby has gotten more callous or more that the PTSD is really like blocking his emotional responses, but also the fact that like maybe there's a part of him that doesn't want to pause on this particular patient for that moment because he's seeing like it's a reference to him. It's like something that, you know, he knows he's doing something wrong. It's a moment probably of shame for him, and he just wants to get out of there.
I'm so eager to love him and consider him faultless. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. He just couldn't handle it. And he's learned his lesson, and now he's going to put his helmet on.
Definitely not going to put his helmet on. Not yet, at least. But so we go back to our main focus, which is the Yi couple.
They're a real roller coaster in this episode, these two.
Yeah. Somebody called it a rope-a-dope, which I liked. It's very much like,
yeah.
You know, one's up, one's down. One's down, one's up. Yeah. But they think he's paralyzed. Turns out he isn't, thankfully.
Yeah, he's weakness in the limbs, but he does have. I thought this was, until we get the twist, I thought this was like, we're going to see a case that is stressful and bad things happen, but sometimes the cases, people just get better, which is what happens with Mark, but then we have the twist of Nancy. Right. But my favorite thing in this whole thing is Robby's doing the teaching thing, and
this is where I really noticed it, that she wasn't, that Dr. Alashimi wasn't.
Because they say, like, you know, he can breathe, he's got his gag reflexes active, but he can't move his limbs. And so they know that means it's a lower spinal injury. Mm-hmm. And Robby says, do you know why? It's because C3, 4, and 5 helps you breathe and stay alive. Yeah. I loved it. I'll remember that forever.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was really good. But yeah, his wife kind of refused attention to focus on her husband, and there's a lot of consternation by Dr. Garcia about their letting her not see any specialists or not get examined at all.
Yeah, and I get this is a tough case because he's obviously the bigger issue. She's refusing to leave.
She forced someone to get treatment.
And she did seem fine.
Yeah, until she didn't.
Right. Well, they sent him up for the donut of truth.
Right, the donut of truth. We didn't get as much Garcia in this episode, but I do like the fact that she's clearly like super competent and is an interesting mix of like, I do it myself the way I want to do it, and also like knows what the rules are there for in a way. I don't know. I just really like the representation of that type of woman who's like tough, but funny and like really, really smart, but also not afraid to like call people out when she thinks they've done something wrong.
Yeah, she's kind of the dream. I hope we get more of her this season than we have. I think we will
because
we're
of Santos.
Her in Santos, that's right.
Yeah, but so I feel like there's two main themes running through this episode for me. One is the PTSD factor, and then the other is sort of like couples in a way, because we've got the Mr. and Mrs. Yi, we've got the girlfriend Gina and the dad, we've got Mr. Williams, who we'll get to, and his ex-wife. And so Mr. Yi has Dana hold up his phone while he records something.
Yeah, he has low potassium. It's something they can treat. He's slowly getting better. At the same time, Mrs. E collapses.
Right.
And we didn't say that out loud. We jumped right to. So I just want to, that's what's going on here. And yeah, so he asked Dana.
Oh yeah, he asked Dana to record him talking to his wife, which to me is like, oh no, is he going to die? Is it going to be like a third swerve? Like where she wakes up and is okay and he's not now? Like I hope it's a timing thing that they wanted, because like you said, this is a couples episode. They wanted him to be able to give this speech in this episode, but she's still up in surgery this week. Yeah.
And so that's how they did it.
I don't know. I'm worried.
That would be so dirty of them.
I know, but
to flip flop again.
Wouldn't surprise me though.
Yeah.
During this whole group of scenes with this couple, we do get an interesting moment with Robby and Dr. Halashimi in the hallway, where she finally is like, I'm not following you around anymore. Basically, she says, I think I've got the gist. How about we each take a lap and meet here when Mr. Yi's back from CT? And he says, splitting up so soon? She says, you're free to see other people, Dr. Rabinovich. I'm looking for cooperation, not commitment. It's like flirty.
It's a little flirty. It's a great line. He's kind of like tickled by it. Like he gives like a huff first and then an actual little like kind of giggle.
Yeah, he enjoyed it. You can tell.
Yeah. And good for her for like pushing back on that a little bit. Like,
yeah.
I just thought that was, He says like, oh, you know, you don't want to keep observing me in my natural habitat. No telling what I'll do next.
Right. Yeah. So wild you are, Dr. Robby. I love him, obviously, but I'm a little bit like, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Oh, one thing I noted here that I thought was intentional, which was when Garcia is sort of ripping apart Mohan for not kind of forcing Mrs. Yi to have an examination. Robby steps in and defends her, which, considering they had some back and forth in the first season and she's not entirely happy, or at least wasn't, with his philosophy and how it's like kind of forcing her to change how she likes to work. It was nice to see that regardless of any of that, and we talked about this, I think, last week, like he will stand up for his people.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
That was nice.
It was good to... He's got a couple of really glaring faults that make it so that he is not totally perfect. And then also, he does so many things right. It's the first time I've seen him be really short, too, for Mark and Nancy, with a patient who I felt like didn't totally deserve it. Because Mark realized, like, as Mark is coming to, before he asks Dana to take the video, he says, like, this is how it works. You think things are important, that everything's so important, and then you end up here and see. And then Robby really kind of throw away, it's just like, yeah, that is how it works, and leaves. And I was just like, I don't know, it just seemed, I know he's going through it.
I was going to say, that's a sign of like a change. I think a lot of what we're seeing in this season is them doing something in a way that the show, like I said, the show is not subtle about a million things, but they do, with character development, they do like subtly plant things along the way. And I think they've done it with all the other characters. And with Robby, it's these moments of callousness that we don't expect from him from the last season. So not saying a prayer or taking a moment of silence for the dead patient, the way he talks to Mr. Yi, like the not wearing, like there's all these moments of him being a little bit less of a emotionally connected person than we had expected him to be given last season.
Totally. I think that's exactly right. So we've got a fun little one here now.
Mr. Montrose?
Mr. Montrose, which Jody, okay, so his whole thing so far is just to kind of flirt with Dr. McKay, which
his butt hurts.
His butt hurts, and I don't know why, is it just because he's old that we're
charmed?
Like, I was like, I'm like, this guy's creeping me out. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know. I was expecting him to be creeping her out, and he kind of didn't seem to be. But this character is played by Michael Nouri, who...
Did you?
So, he was the love interest in Flash... Well, he was the love interest in Flashdance, but more importantly, he was in The Watcher.
Yeah. Yep.
The show that is the namesake? We're the namesake? Who knows? That we named ourselves after. As a joke.
In fact, maybe, no confirmation, but quite possibly the titular Watcher.
Yes, exactly.
It's one of the many possibilities.
Yeah. But in this...
So that's a Jersey connection.
Yes. But in this show, instead of possibly being someone who like lives in the walls of people's houses, he's a Walmart greeter. McKay doesn't want him wandering around talking to patients, but that's just what he does.
That's right. His like real job here is to set up this other patient flirting with McKay.
Also to mention the patient passport. I think that's another flag that they're throwing to be like, hey, this thing that, Al-Hashimi brought in is already maybe not helping because people are relying on it for numbers that aren't going to happen.
Right.
McKay wishes they had a holiday version. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's... I had the same reaction of being a little bit creeped out by him, but also knowing I'm not supposed to be necessarily.
Yeah, I think it's more of a personal thing for me.
Just had too many older men invade my personal space.
Right. Maybe that's actually also McKay's thing, and she's just finally tuned at understanding which patients are threat and which she can kind of indulge and have like a little fun with, because
But you're right that a big part of his purpose is just for us to wonder why this other patient is just constantly making comments as well about her laugh and saving him a dance and
her witch cackle.
Yeah.
Like, what I want her to do is to look at these two people and say, like, leave me alone, I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
But I understand you can't always do that, especially when you're caring for these people. So you just kind of have to laugh and move on for your own sake. But I just wonder what the show is doing here.
I don't think that they want us to think he's being creepy or that the other guy's being creepy. To me, in both cases, I'm like, she's working, leave her alone. Mm-hmm. But also, McKay did say that she really needs to get laid, and the guy on the gurney seems pretty hot from the distance that we see him from. So
yeah, and he hasn't said anything overtly creepy. If they were anywhere else, I'd be like, oh, cute. This guy, he likes McKay's big loud laugh, and he's being kind of charming. It's just that she's at work, and I have no patience for that. But
it's also a no-no to hook up with patients, but maybe after he's maybe it's just like he had a bad lunch and he'll be out of there in a minute, and then she'll be able to kind of follow up.
I hope so
to speak.
As it were.
Yeah, as it were. I think actually before we go to, because I think our last few patients are kind of the bigger patients where there's like a connection to the doctors. There's something that they're meant to kind of like teach us. They're longer term patients. I think, can we get the kid with the beads in his nose out of the way before we go on to those? Just to, I am a fan of Didi. I think he's fun. I think that I understand why, like, I didn't ever stick beads up my nose, but he had a rational explanation. He wanted to shoot them out like rockets, and I get it. It sounds like an interesting experiment.
Yeah. I have never stuck beads up my nose. But
am
I telling this story on this podcast?
I don't know. I think you have to now.
I think I am.
When did you stick up your nose?
I was very young. I think I was about 4 years old. I found the back of a lapel pin, the little like flat with the squeezy sides.
Yep.
And it looked so perfectly nostril shaped. I can't believe I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD as a young child. This is such an impulse control issue.
This child clearly is.
Yes.
Not just armchair diagnosed, but this is a pretty easy one.
Yeah. It looked so nostril shaped that I needed to know. And I stuck it into my nostril and then did what Didi here did.
You breathed in.
And it went up into my nasal passage. And then My grandmother called they sent like an EMT or whatever.
Yeah.
And they like shined a light up there, and they said, this phrase is in my brain forever. They told her not to worry about it because it would eventually pass through my system.
Whoa.
So then that's what goes on with that. Few months later, within the same year, but months later, I went to the dentist for my 6-month checkup. So it couldn't have been more than 6 months. I went to the dentist, and they took some x-rays of my teeth and found in the x-rays that the lapel pin was still in my nasal cavity.
Oh my God, you didn't know?
No. It was up far enough that I guess I couldn't feel it. You know what I mean? Like, because it wasn't in my nostril.
Yeah.
It was like up in my head far enough that it wasn't
Oh my God.
like causing. And so I had to go to an ENT, and they put me in one of those big high chairs, and 2 doctors had to hold me down.
Oh my
and
God.
then using the little
The thing.
that they used to get the beads out, they got the lapel pin.
Wow.
I can like hear it clanking in the little metal like kidney bean tray.
That was a good Foley moment. Not scary like the others. That was a nice, satisfying sort of clanking sound.
Yeah, I can still hear the one from my childhood. So I just wanted to share that here with our listeners.
I appreciate your vulnerability.
Thank you so much.
I really do. I think the other thing in this whole, in this patient interaction that is notable, obviously, is Langdon quoting like a paragraph of text about being a father. I will say I was a little bit like, at this moment. And then I remembered, I know a lot of people who've been in recovery, and I know that a lot of that initial year, 2 years, whatever, there's a lot of, not reliance on, but a lot of use of, mantras and things like that to kind of, center and ground you when you're feeling anxious. And this is still his first day back. It's been 3 weeks for us, but he's still on day 1, hour 3.
Yeah, hour 3.
So it made a little more sense to me that he has spent some time sort of like internalizing language that is comforting to him.
Yeah, and he was in rehab for months. Not a whole lot to do other than like read and go to groups and stuff. So he had time. I have all kinds of dumb shit memorized, so at least he's got something that's useful for him.
Yeah. See our episode where Pulp Fiction came up.
I was just thinking of that.
Yeah. I do love the response from the other dad, though, who said, that's good. I'd support your woman and pack good snacks. Yeah, but we have a little 3-dad bonding moment there. Like I said, I like Langdon and Donnie together. I think that it gives Langdon a chance to be not the fuck up, but someone with more experience for someone else, where he can kind of not feel like he doesn't know anything or everything he does is wrong. Like, he's still a dad, and we have no evidence that he's a terrible dad. He's just kind of was sort of a childlike partner, it seems like, but that doesn't mean he's not a great dad.
No.
The thing that they used, by the way, is called a cat's extractor.
Cat's extractor. Thank you. I've never done that.
Just in case you were wondering.
And every time I tell that story, I say the thing. So
yes, and now you can think of what it's like actually called.
The thing. Cat's extractor.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly. Okay. So we have left Williams, Louis, and Mrs. Kovalenko. Yeah, we get a brief check-in with Mr. Diaz, who still is not conscious, who is having the insulin crisis. That scene, the only real point of it to me was another opportunity for Javadi and Ogilvy to out-fact each other, to have a fact fight.
But he's doing better, so...
Yeah, he's still not talking, but I think we'll probably check in with him at some point. Not this episode, though. Should we talk about Williams?
Yeah.
Quite a turnaround for someone who we were a little bit afraid of.
I know.
Yeah, he's very calm this episode. Like,
he seems very gentle.
Absolutely. I know, it's interesting because like he was so unsettling. It seems like the personality shift that we saw is sort of the opposite maybe of what his ex-wife had dealt with. Because so McKay breaks it to him that he has a brain tumor. They don't know if it's benign or not at this point, but it's about 4 centimeters in the frontal lobe. It's possibly why he fell. And they want to do a biopsy by drilling a hole into his head, which, according to the doctors of Reddit, would not be the next steps. They would probably immediately take him into surgery. But not immediately, but like in the next couple of days. They would just go and remove it regardless.
No matter what it is. Interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, you know, who am I to believe random doctors on Reddit? But they're usually right, I've found.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I love about this is how they have this very gentle interaction where McKay is explaining things to him, he's taking it in, and then when his ex-wife shows up, he basically is repeating all of her language in a very gentle way to break it to his ex-wife.
Yeah.
In the exact same way, just checking in with McKay to be like, right? She's like, yep, that's right. His ex-wife is played by the actress Amanda Schull, who was on a lot of episodes of Suits.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know her from anything, but Suits is the big one for her.
Yeah, I think she played, oh my God, I can't remember the names anymore. I did watch it like way before Meghan Markle was anybody. Was one of those like, just leave it on kind of shows.
Gotcha.
I liked the nuance of this interaction between him and his ex-wife because it wasn't a big romantic gesture moment of like, oh my God, maybe it was the brain tumor. You know, they're going to get back together. It's like, she's married.
Yeah.
But it is now she has to live with the question of like, did I leave this person because of the way he was acting? And the way he was acting was not his fault. Right.
That's really hard. That's, that little like tiny little speech he gives where he says like, heard you got married, congratulations. I hope he treats you well. You deserve to be happy. His voice is sort of breaking there.
Yeah.
But you know what made me laugh out loud? She says like, I'm so sorry you're going through this. And he says, you know me. I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anybody who describes themselves as a survivor who I would say also is a survivor. Do you know what I mean? It's like how if you describe yourself, no offense if this is any of you listeners, I love you, I'm sure you're right. Biggest red flag for me is somebody who describes themselves as an empath.
Oh, God, no, I know. Absolutely.
It just reminded me of that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. No, I thought it reminded me of like, I've never used the word survivor, but I have joked and said like, oh, but I'm tough. Like, but it's a joke.
Well, and also it's, you, like, there are people who are survivors and who are tough but to say, especially like, I don't know, I was just like, I wonder if there's something, maybe she knows more than we do, where this is accurate, but I just know a lot of big babies.
I wondered if it was an inside joke.
As survivors. Yeah. I hope so.
If it was like a joke between the two of them.
Yeah. That would be nice.
But yeah, we find out they haven't spoken in like 4 years.
Yeah.
And she still has emergency contact, which means that his life has been probably pretty lonely and sad, maybe because of his actions and behavior.
Or maybe he hasn't had a medical issue. I have no idea who my emergency contacts
That's true. I don't
are right now.
think I do
It
either.
could be now that I feel like I need to update those.
I know. Everybody go check who your emergency contact is and make sure it's not someone you dated 4 years ago.
Yeah. Oh no, my heart's racing. Oh no. I'm 100% going to do that
oh God.
This week. Whew. Okay.
But yeah, that's all we get from him. I don't know if we'll get more with her or not, or if that's just sort of like, glioblastoma is a scary diagnosis. Mm-hmm. I knew someone in grad school who had a glioblastoma and eventually passed from it.
Oh, yeah.
She was like 29.
Often.
Yeah, it can come on at random ages that make it even more tragic. Not that it's not when someone older dies, but, you know.
Yeah, it's funny that you said, like, you know, who knows if we'll get more from him, because it's something I was thinking about, especially this week, that is just the case when you work in emergency medicine. Mm-hmm. There are going to be some of these people that just aren't going to get tied up for us.
Yeah.
You know, best case scenario, other than, well, best case is discharge from the ER, but is they go upstairs and you don't see them again.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff we never got follow-ups. You know, we don't know what happened to Dr. Collins. We don't know if Jake ever forgave Dr. Robby for not saving his girlfriend.
Great
you know?
Point. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff we don't know right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't know if we'll ever see him again. Oh, God. Should we talk about Louis?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not gonna end well.
I know.
So Louis is, this actor is doing such a good job of very subtly changing his affect over the course of a couple of hours. Like when he came in, he was jovial, he was joking. The first time we see him this episode, he's a little bit less jovial, but still making conversation, but he seems a little bit more worn out.
Yeah.
You know?
Worn out is a great word for how we meet him at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. He's on his
That's 2 words, actually.
What is?
Worn out. I said it's a great word.
Oh,
it's a phrase.
He is still getting drained, which is horrible. He's feeling empty, he says.
Yeah, because hasn't had a drink in a long time, and
yeah,
Whitaker is thinking, yeah, that's why you're here, man.
Yeah. But we get our local Pittsburgh history PSA of the day with the Mr. Zambelli.
Zambelli fireworks.
Yeah. Newcastle, Pennsylvania, the firework capital of America.
Mm-hmm. Credited by the Guinness Book of World Records for shooting fireworks from the highest altitude off the U.S. Steel Tower in Pittsburgh.
Oh my God.
Jody, I have an assignment for you. I haven't done it yet, and I want to give you time and our listeners time. I want them to call us or text us or leave a review with their suggestion before next week's episode, and also you, Jody. And I will do the same. I want us all to come up with one Pittsburgh reference they haven't dropped yet that you know is coming.
Okay. Yep.
Just one.
Okay.
And yeah, let us know. I'll just put the plug here. We usually do it at the end, but you can email us that if you want, WatchersPodNJ. But you can also call or text us, which I love, at 856-336-8986.
Okay.
And so, yeah. Do a little Pittsburgh sleuthing, and
I've got one or two already that I can think of. So yeah,
I have a couple of like main ones. I don't know a ton about Pittsburgh, but I want to do some digging and see if we can find some fun ones. And so Zambelli probably would have been like,
it's a good one.
Yeah, it made me laugh.
Yeah, he also mentions that he met Mr. Zambelli on the field, which makes me think maybe he was like a football player or something.
That's what, because when they ask what field, and that's what you were leading up to. He's done. This isn't when he totally cuts him off yet, but he's like,
he says like, stick to doctoring. You guys don't know anything about pyrotechnics.
You guys don't know anything about pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
So yeah, because that was because on the field sounds, usually I would think like military, like field medic or something, but we know it's not that.
Right.
Or at least...
Well, the Zambelli company does fireworks like for the Steelers and stuff too.
Right, exactly. So it's got to be some sort of sport thing, or I
think so. But yeah, you're right that when he asks the follow-up question about that is when Louis finally drops the jovialness, and it's like to me was devastating, because I was like, this is who Louis is in public all the time, and for him to, especially at the hospital where he knows everybody, for him to drop that and just be like, no more talking, you've got to fix my tooth. I am so concerned about Louis.
I also feel like, I don't know, maybe you can't do more than one thing at a time, but as we talked about last week, that like dental stuff is so serious.
It's so serious. Like it could go to his heart. Like, yeah.
It just seems like I almost feel like that's I guess a lot of things are the priority for Louis right now because he's physically not doing well, but it's just like he's been there for hours now.
Well, yeah. And for me, like, it should be the priority for the doctors. I think that should be more of a red flag than they're making it out to be. So maybe, what do I know? But still, like, it just feels like he is in so much pain. And as someone who's had lots of dental work, like that kind of pain is impossible to do anything else when you're having it. It's just the worst. Like, you need it to stop immediately, and nothing can be enough of a distraction to get out of there.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I feel really bad for Louis.
Me too.
And I wish Whitaker would take his tooth pain more seriously.
I know.
But for now, I think that's all we have of Louis. So we'll move on, I think, to Mrs. Kovalenko.
Yep. Yana.
Yana. Yes. Oh, this woman. I love her so much. I just love
perfect.
like a grandma who'll give someone shit.
Yeah. She's so, again, like, this general area coded, because they can't say like Northeast, but the like from Pittsburgh through to North Jersey.
I would say through to like Westchester, New York too.
Okay.
Yeah.
She could be anybody's grandma to me.
Yeah.
in that swap. I know so many of her.
Yep.
She rules.
She really does.
Like tough as nails.
Yeah. Also very concerned about the fact that Robby is single.
So funny.
Yeah, but she bandaged the burn herself with a part of a window curtain because it was cleaner than a tablecloth.
That's what I mean.
I really was annoyed with Emma in this moment, though, because like she clearly has that young person's attitude towards older people where she's just like, oh, silly old lady, you know, not knowing anything at all about what this woman experience she's got or knowledge she might have or wisdom or any of that. Emma's just like, kind of, I don't know. I don't like the way that she's talking to her.
No, I totally agree. The way she even says, like, did you say honey?
Oh, that like, part later, that was where I really got it. Yeah.
She's like, get out of here.
But even before, she was like, oh, is this a firecracker? She's talking to her the way that when I didn't like how Al-Hashimi was talking to the patient about AI. It was a bit condescending.
Yes, totally.
She's trying to look at the burn, but Yana wants to wait for the doctor. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, when we talked about the season 1 recap, we mentioned that this is the first Jewish character that Noah Wyle has ever played. And I think that it's becoming clear that Robby's Judaism is something that they want to explore, which I think is really cool and interesting. And, you know, the role that faith plays in his life has a lot to do, I think, personally with his PTSD and how he's not dealing with it or dealing with it. Like, she asks if he's been to services lately and he hasn't. And not that that's an answer for everything, but like when people are in a really bad place, they tend to kind of turn down all available offers of solace and help, including therapy, religion, anything that could possibly like give you a sense of safety.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. She immediately notes he's not married. Asks him if he's attend synagogue.
He says his family, his grandparents, their synagogue is a Rodef Shalom, which is an actual, obviously we know Tree of Life is, and we'll get to that, but so is Rodef Shalom.
And apparently it's actually the facility, the physical location of where the Tree of Life services are being held while they're rebuilding. So it's actually even more connected.
Which I read, it was just in September where they officially announced that they're ready to rebuild, which had me thinking, you know, about timing just with this show, just logistically. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they bring up that she attends Tree of Life, which is where the hate crime occurred on October 27th, 2018, where 11 worshipers died. I'm going to recommend we put in the show notes this article by a medical professional from Pittsburgh who kind of collected the experiences of other medical professionals on that day.
Oh, amazing.
And wrote an article about it.
That.
It's really, especially related to what we're looking at with this show. It's all about like the mass casualty crisis response as well, and how they had been planning for that, and how like so much of what they had prepared for was needed in that moment. It's a really, really informative article. I think we should definitely put it in the notes.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to read that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Beautiful.
But yeah, we get Emma comments about her using honey, and I like how Robby like is both respectful and also is like, but actually you shouldn't have done it in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean about him. He is generally, in a lot of ways, pretty balanced and understands that, like, place and time for certain things, and he uses his gentle little patient voice with Yana, you know, like.
Well, in the way that we've been missing with other patients too, I think that there's something about him finding out, the fact that he probably is reminded of his own Jewish grandmother when she's there, so he's gonna pull back he's gonna slow down the the process a little bit and like let her in a little because he's naturally disarmed by her.
Yes. Yeah.
But also then when he finds out that she was or is a member of the Tree of Life, it breaks even more into his like shell that he's built for himself. And he treats her like we've expected him to treat everyone else, with this sense of care. And
we actually see it pop up a little bit later too. Like this really seems, it's not just like he's contained in this room, because Robby's still in there, you know, like, because then I noticed he does it again because I'm attuned to his sweet, gentle, patient voice. That when he explains to Mark what happened with Nancy, he's so good and gentle there too, in a way that we hadn't seen him be today until he
this kind of broke through.
Yeah. I don't think it's, obviously this isn't fixing him, but
no, not at all.
It's a moment.
It's a moment where he goes from being sort of a robot doctor, like, to a person again. He's working on her burn and he says, "This is looking very good." And she says, "Tell Mr. Kovalenko." And she has him call her Yana. I really do think that, so there's a lot of reaction. I've seen a lot of reaction from people from Pittsburgh, people in the Jewish community in Pittsburgh around this episode, mostly positive. I have seen people not from that community say it felt really heavy-handed, and I think that means it's just not for you. Like, the people that I heard from Pittsburgh were actually surprised that they hadn't addressed this in the first season, because it's still such a huge wound on Pittsburgh, and especially that specific Squirrel Hill community.
Like I just said, it's only September 2025 where they, it seems, have like officially sort of rebuilding. So
yeah, and of course it's the fireworks that are triggering her. You know, like anyone who's had any sort of PTSD around gun violence or anything like that, like 4th of July is hard.
Yeah.
You know.
And this setting, it's a hospital. I think I'm getting so defensive of the show from the people who, weren't. I don't know. It's not like they're. I can think of no other occupations, but it just felt fitting that this is where this conversation would happen.
Well, I mean, because I think the one main criticism that the show gets, and sometimes deservingly, is that it feels like an after-school special sometimes. And normally I'm fully allergic to that. Right. And for some reason I'm not with this show. And so I do get the criticism, but I also think that, like, if you're going to set a show in Pittsburgh and you're going to make it this sort of heart forward, you have to treat this moment, this horrific event. You have to mention it, you have to deal with it, and you also have to find a way to humanize it. Yeah, you know?
Totally. I think that's exactly right.
What better way than a Jewish grandma that is going to, like, you know, bug him about not going to services.
I really loved how you hear him before you see him. I know we're like a little further ahead, but Emma asks her what a samovar is, because that's he goes, it gets super duper hot, and I was never allowed to touch ours. I'm going to share 2 articles as well. I found 2 really fun, lovely articles about 2 young people who remembered their specifically Russian Jewish grandparents who brought theirs over from Russia. And both of these articles make mention of the fact that, like, if you haven't seen one in person, look it up. They're big and clunky. Yeah. So that's a lot to be carrying when you're emigrating from Russia to America. And one of them is about one of the grandparents in one of the articles selling items on the Russian black market, which is really fun and ties a little bit in, Jody, with what I hope will take a couple of minutes to talk about ponies at the end of this. I would love to check in with you about. Sure. And so it just stuck out to me. So we'll share a bunch of reading materials this week.
I thought an interesting note in their conversation between Robby and Yana was when he says he's trying to comfort her in the fact that she's still reacting to this by saying there's no clock on how long it takes. And she says, "You must be joking." Because at first I was like, what does she mean? But then, of course, it's that the more time you spend in, like, avoiding processing these things, the less time in your life you're going to have that is not burdened by it in some way. I think that it's sort of like a check on him. Right. To be like, yeah, there actually is. Like, you have to live still. you know?
That's really interesting. I went back and forth a little bit too about what that reaction was. I like that reading of it for sure.
Well, I ended up watching a interview with Noah Wyle where that's how he kind of couched it. So
cool.
I think that's probably the reading that we should take away, but I didn't catch that right away either. I was kind of like, huh. Yeah. But then I was like, well, yeah, no, you do. If we think about it in terms of how Robby is completely avoidant of any sort of, like literally avoidant, like of walking around corners to avoid the hospital therapist and everyone else who could possibly have any like concern for him, you know?
That's so funny. And like, it's funny that he's what a wise, stupid man, because he thinks he's being comforting there. He thinks he's saying the right thing and and something that is reasonable to say.
Yeah.
And you just reminded me of last season when he's talking, it's like the first moment of, their first like quiet moment they have about a patient who's passed. And he starts saying like, he sees the mausoleum and he's like, I just, need a place where I can put these feelings. And he thinks he's like teaching these new students how to deal with the difficulties of the job. But he's saying like, you've got to shove all of this pain down, which is so wrong.
Yeah.
And it's,
he's not a good example in that way.
Out. No.
Yeah. We have two more really important notes, one serious and one funny with Mrs. K. One is the lovely mention of the real life way that the Muslim community in Pittsburgh supported the Tree of Life, not only the Tree of Life members, but like generally the Jewish community. But, she says to Perla, she thanks Perla when she finds out that she's Muslim and says, it was the Muslims who came together in support of us, walked with us, raised money, paid for the funerals. And then I like that it's realistic in that she says this, and then instead of getting into a huge long thing, she just says, anyway, thank you. And like, moving on.
Yeah.
But Noah Wyle did make it clear in interviews that he really wanted to highlight this because of because of waves and everything, but also because of he didn't think it had gotten enough attention, that there was this like source of hope in that.
Yeah.
Which is lovely.
That's really lovely. Yeah.
And then she calls him out for being a middle-aged man on a motorcycle.
Well, Perla, I love Perla. I feel like Perla saw this opportunity and was like, there is no way this woman is going to let him get away with that. She says, he's leaving us for 3 months on a motorcycle. And she says, motorcycle? Are you joking? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a good answer to start.
No, he's kind of stumbling. And she says, you're a middle-aged man. Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid.
And I love, like, who other than a grandmother could just call someone out like that and not immediately have them get defensive. He says, don't hold back. Tell me how you really feel. And she says, forgive me for being blunt, Dr. Rabinovich, but how old are you, huh? 50?
Ish. That ish.
Then we get the best line of the whole episode, though. 50-ish man on a motorcycle. Very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad.
It's so good. I loved everything about it. Also, Perla's smile in this scene is so big. We haven't gotten a ton with Perla and Princess. They're always paired together, but we haven't gotten a ton with Perla, and everything we've gotten with her I've really loved, but she's so good here. That smile, I don't know how to explain it, but I fell in love with her in that moment. Yeah.
Well, we see her immediately after this too, when he comes out and gives Dana orders for follow-up, because Perla's right there at the nurse's station, and he says, I'm sending Miss Kovalenko home with burn dressing, but not before she turned my sabbatical into a midlife crisis. And Dana, with her back to Robby, says no comment and smirks. But if you look behind Dana, Perla's also sitting there with a great little smirk on her face. It's so good.
I love it. They've all been
talking about it. Absolutely.
Loved it so much.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I don't know if we'll see Mrs. K again, but thank you for your service in calling him out. Somebody had to do it. If it wasn't her, it would probably be Dana. So, but it'll maybe get to him more if it's from a grandmother that reminds him of his own.
It was great, really good.
Yeah,
what a show.
Yeah, and we wrap it up with a dramatic phone call
A code
from Medic Command.
black.
A code black. Is this a drill? Is this a joke?
I do love the way she says 4th of fucking July, though.
Yeah.
That was really...
Yeah. They're diverting all of their ambulance traffic to us. I assumed that this code black is the first ransomware attack that is what we think is going to hit their hospital.
Could be, yeah. We don't
know what it is, but like we have seen in the previews, like they're going to lose connection, internet, power, something,
right.
we think. And it could be that that's just the first version of it.
Yeah,
we'll
Dr. Al-Hashmi says something that gives her a little more personality this week, that Robby also kind of clocks. I hope that they're going to come to some sort of, you know, I might not agree with the way you do things, but damn it, I respect you kind of moment. Because she says, like, she says, a couple of doctors probably got the holiday flu and they're understaffed.
Yeah, and he like nods approvingly.
Yeah. We're back with a betting pool. How long?
I know.
How come? How long? How many? Sounds like a betting grid to me. We are back.
I know. I'm going to be watching Ahmed's character now in the background more now that I know he's from Jersey. Because I have noted him in the past and just been like, he's doing some fun stuff in the background, like, you know, reacting and, you know, being a part of that whole ambulance plot in the first season. And then Robby gets his 80s or 90s sitcom moment where at the very end he says, I should have left last night. He almost like winks at the camera.
Yeah.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Exactly.
Looks like next week, 10 a.m. Shit's gonna hit the fan.
I love this show so much. Have I said that enough? I'm just always surprised by how much I love it. I don't know.
Well, I think maybe it's just because this isn't normally your kind of thing, like on the surface.
Right.
It doesn't read as something that you would have picked up on your own.
It's become my background show. Like I started season 1 over again. Like it's always on now.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. It's funny, the episodes end and I'm kind of like, did anything really happen? But not in a way where I'm upset about it, where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm, you know, on shift with my fellow doctors and checking in on patients and seeing how everyone's doing. And, you know, things are probably going to go crazy soon. So I might as well enjoy this downtime and, you know,
It's really satisfying even when that's all sort of that happens. Yeah.
My only complaint about this episode is there wasn't enough Mel. And I'm sure that's going to be remedied soon, but we needed we always need more Mel. Yeah.
Mel and Whitaker, I mean, Mel, we got pretty much nothing from.
Just the FaceTime call with the pills.
Yeah. And Whitaker, we have just a little bit with Louie, but.
Yeah. But yeah, we need more Mel. But yeah. So do you want to check in on...
I'm sorry, I'm just realizing if her deposition is today and she's on shift, I wonder if the idea is that it'll be... Will she leave for a little while to go do that?
I don't know.
Will we
Might
go
be
with
at the
her?
hospital. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know how that really works.
I don't either.
Anyway.
We will find out. You said you wanted to check in on ponies before we leave. I've only watched the first 2 so far.
Oh, okay. How are you feeling so far? We'll just do a quick check-in. Oh, for our listeners, Ponies is that show on Peacock that is about the 2 women who were married to 2 CIA agents. I'm saying it like it's nonfiction. It's fictional. Who were married to 2 CIA agents in Russia during like the Cold War.
It's a mid-70s.
Mid-70s. In like the mid-70s, and very early on in the first episode, the husbands die and the 2 women convince the team in the CIA group in Russia to let them go to become CIA agents, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Not
to kind of
unofficial agents.
Unofficial, yeah. But to help, because no one would ever suspect them. They're PONIs, persons of no interest.
Ponies. And it's a real, Dharma and Greg, the 2 of them. One of them's real straight-laced. One of them is
Taylor Lee Richardson and Amelia Clark, I think. And of course, Vic Michaelis of Dropout is not a side character. Well, yeah. Right now a side character. I don't know. I've only seen 2 episodes, so.
And just
Cheryl.
another wife in the crew.
Yeah. It's an interesting character for Vic. They're like very proper, hiding, like a full-on mess.
Yeah, it's high strung isn't even the right word. It's like so tightly wound. Yeah,
but so tightly wound that like things are falling off shelves like constantly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but we love Vic Michaelis. I love seeing them in this. It's. So I've only seen the first two. You had texted me when you watched the second episode that you said that you thought they probably blew their entire budget on the music in episode 2, and I saw what you meant.
Every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And I will say, I don't want you to get, this is not a spoiler. This is an expectation setting. Every episode is a song title. And so episode 2 has so many needle drops that are really fun and cool. And so I was like, oh man, I can't wait to trace the soundtrack through the rest of it.
Yeah.
And it is good and there's a lot of cool stuff, but episode 2 is just back to back to back, and it doesn't really continue that way.
Ever heard an Elvis Costello song on a soundtrack?
I know.
That was
so
crazy.
Cool. There were so many of those moments where I was like,
for the scene.
Yeah. And so it's as thoughtful throughout, but it's just not as constant.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because, like I said, when I saw that every episode is a song title, I was like, oh man, music is really going to feature super heavily.
Yeah.
And it does, as you'll see, but not in...
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think my hesitation so far is tone, but that is, both of their husbands die in the first episode, and it also still has like a little bit of a like campy, like madcap adventure type vibe, which is a little bit difficult to parse, but I like the people involved.
I think that's a fair criticism. I will say, like, I'm excited for us to talk about it a little more when you finish it. Maybe
do a check-in.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'll say.
You didn't watch White Lotus, did you?
No.
Okay. Haley Lee Richardson is good on the season that she's on.
Okay.
But yeah, I like it so far. I'm not like, oh my god, this is the best show I've ever seen, but I'm having a good time, and I, put Vic Michaelis in like a toothpaste commercial and I'll watch it.
I'll watch them, yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'll still say not the greatest show I've ever seen. Really fun, and I think it'll be fun to talk about. And as I said to you after that first or second episode, there's something really fun about the way it's shot, and it feels to me like they could have made this in the 70s in a lot of ways. They do these like really cheesy like wipes to transition from scenes, and there's a car chase in the first episode that feels the way movies in the 70s shot car chase scenes. I really like all of that.
The word madcap came to my head again with that. I also like the costuming a lot. I mean, like, the clothes are amazing.
Yeah.
I want to wear half of it. Like,
exactly. It
the color
feels
grading
really good
is very 70s.
to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no, I'm going to definitely keep going with it. Yeah. No, I'm enjoying it.
It also does get better as the season goes on, I think, too. So if you like, also for our listeners, too, if you watch first 2 episodes of Ponies and you like it enough, I'd say keep watching. It's only, 8 episodes, I think? It's short.
I think so, yeah. It's not very many.
I watched it in 2 days.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to finishing it. And I'm looking forward to watching The Pitt again next week. I have been watching Industry. It is still wild. The last episode was insane.
I know nothing about that show except what you have said and the way you've described it to me, except that HBO, one of their Instagram accounts, I think Australia, put together a clip, like, reel of that show. What
I don't know,
is happening?
It's such a different show season to season, too. It started as this sort of, like, dark, sort of Succession-esque, like, takedown of the financial industry through the lens of these, like, power-hungry young people. And now it's this, like, melodrama at, like, a British mansion castle thing where people are dressing up as, like, Marie Antoinette and, like, doing lots of drugs. It's insane. It's off the charts, like, weird, and I don't know what they're doing, but I'm still watching.
And Cal Penn is in it? I didn't realize.
Yeah, Cal Penn just joined it this season. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kit Harington is in it. Yeah. The original cast, the 2 main female leads are really awesome. But yeah, it is definitely like not what it started out as in a way that's so wild. I don't know how they're pulling it off. They are pulling it off. It's a well-made show. It's just the subject matter is not something I normally would be like that interested in at all. But
it's interesting.
Yeah, it's a wild ride. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Everybody get ready for the storm. It'll be over by the time you hear this. And yeah, where can they find us in the meantime, other than indoors, probably knitting and watching television?
WatchersPodNJ at Gmail, WatchersPodNJ on Instagram.
And TikTok.
And TikTok, that's right. As I said, you can call or text us at 856-336-8986. If you are in the Pittsburgh area, another place you can find me is at Bottle Rocket on, I don't know, one day this weekend. I'm the 32nd.
You have one job.
Well, I'm trying to
promote it.
Chicago, the 30th. How many days are in January 31?
ChrisGeth.com/tour or Beautiful Anonymous.
Punchup.live/ChrisGeth for tickets. February 1st is when we will be at Bottle Rocket in Pittsburgh.
Got it.
Come hang out and go to a Beautiful Anonymous live taping at, like I said, my favorite venue in the country that isn't in New Jersey. Bottle Rocket rules. It's so cool. And
we got one more thing.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Uncle Floyd.
Uncle Floyd.
New Jersey legend. We lost him yesterday as we're recording, or 2 days ago, actually, the 22nd. Mm-hmm. He passed away after a, battle of a year and a half or 2 years of heart disease. But God, what a presence in my childhood, at least, in growing up in North Jersey. He went to my high school. So if you're not familiar with Uncle Floyd, I don't know that looking up Uncle Floyd clips is going to make any sense to you. But if you are someone who found us from, if you're someone who found us from New Jersey's the world, you know who the fuck Uncle Floyd is. Never mind. Anyway.
But if I'm just beloved, and as a South Jersey person, he didn't have the same influence, but I was well aware of him. Like, his influence spreads pretty, and like, you know what you should do is, if you haven't watched, here's my recommendation.
Okay.
If you haven't watched Chris Wilch's Flip Side, there's some really great Uncle Floyd stuff. It's a documentary we loved last year.
That's a good point.
And he talks about Uncle Floyd in our conversation with him. A guy who, like, David Bowie was a huge fan of. Like, he popped in weird ways. And
he's true Jersey. He worked on, his television show was like influenced so many sort of like alt comedy is not really the right word, but like so many people that are interested in the weirder side of comedy.
Yes, totally.
Also, same birthday as me.
So
Uncle Floyd, Libra, went to Glenrock High School.
That rules.
Legend.
Yeah. R.I.P. to a real one for sure. I'll drop in one of his songs at the end after our theme song, just to give him a little moment.
Love it. As Uncle Floyd would probably say, until next time,
bang yourself in the head.
Get in the car. Go to New Jersey.
You don't talk at all, that's my advice. In parting, you go your way, I'll go mine. It's best we do. Here's a kiss, and I hope that this brings lots of love to you. Makes no difference how you carry on, but please don't talk about me when I'm gone. mine. It's best we do. Now here's a kiss, and I hope that this brings lots of luck to you. Makes no difference how you carry on. But honey, please don't talk about me when I